All right, so welcome back to another episode. In this episode, we're going to actually make HTTP requests to the Discord API through our backend code. So instead of using Postman, we're actually going to do this in code. And once we do that, in the next couple episodes, we're going to actually get the mutual guilds. And we're going to go ahead and set up everything that we need to get this to work. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to create a new module. So that way we can keep all the Discord related stuff isolated from the rest of our code base. So let's go ahead and create a new nest module. And I'll call this Discord. Okay. Once we do that, we're going to create a controllers folder. We're going to create a services folder. And we're going to create a folder for interfaces. And for tests, we'll worry about that later. I'll just leave it for these three for now. I'm going to create three files. So discord.controller.ts will belong inside the controllers file. So this is going to be the file for the controller. So we're going to create a class called Discord controller, and notice how I am annotating this with the controller decorator. Okay, we do need to specify the route for this controller. The route is going to be Discord, but I'm going to go ahead and add that to my Enum, the routes Enum. Might as well, right? Since we created already. So now I can go ahead and import routes, just like that. So instead of using a hard-coded string, we can use an actual Enum value or Enum value. So the Discord controller is going to have several routes to handle HTTP requests. The important route that we'll need for the main menu page for our front-end dashboard is a route to get all of the mutual guilds. So we're not going to worry about getting the individual bot and individual user guilds for now. So I'll go ahead and set up a get request. And for this, I'll just call this guilds. And I'll just say get mutual guilds. Okay. Once we have done that, let's go ahead and add our controller to the module in order for the route to actually map properly. Because if we don't do that, it's not going to map. So to do that, we simply go to the Discord module, over imports, well, not imports, sorry, controllers. Type in Discord controller. And there we go. Now we should see the route should be mapped down there. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the controller for now. We're going to go ahead and create two services. We're going to create one service that's going to handle all of the business logic for Discord service. And then we're going to create another service that's going to actually need to make the HTTP requests. I'll explain a little bit in just a second. So what I'll do is I'll first create an interface called discord.ts. And this will just be an interface that the controller will inject. So I'll call this iDiscord service. And this Discord service is going to have three methods. It's going to have a get bot guilds method, get user guilds method, and a get mutual guilds method. Okay, we're then going to create the actual implementation now. So we'll call this discord.service.ts. Move that over here. We'll go ahead and use the injectable decorator and create a class called Discord service. And we're going to implement that iDiscord service interface, which means that we now need to implement all of its abstract methods. Okay, so we have all three of these methods. The main important method is the get mutual guilds method, which is what the controller is going to call. Okay, these two get bot guilds and get user guilds methods, for now, we're not really going to have individual routes, like I said before, to get the actual, get only the bot guilds and only the user guilds. We can have them, but not right now. But these two methods are going to be kind of like helper methods for get mutual guilds. Because like I said, we need to get the bot guilds, we need to get the user guilds, and then we need to create a computation to get all of the guilds that the user is an admin of, and that also has the bot in. Okay. Before I continue, let me go ahead and go inside constants.ts. Let me add the Discord enum, and we're going to add this provider inside the Discord module. like the same way that we've been doing it for this whole series. So it'll be services dot Discord use class Discord service, just like that. So now we can actually inject this service anywhere inside this module that we want to use it. We're going to go ahead and do that first with the controller. So we'll inject the Discord service, and we'll call this Discord service and type annotate it as iDiscord service, just like that. So now get mutual guild can actually call this Discord service. And let's test that out. I refresh, you're going to see it gives us a 500 status error. The reason why is because the method get mutual guilds throws an error because we haven't implemented it yet. But don't worry, we know that it works, so that's great. Okay, so whenever we visit this route, what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to call get mutual guilds, which is a method on the Discord service. Okay, right now it throws an error, but what we're actually supposed to do is we're supposed to fetch the guilds that the bot is in and the guilds that the user are in. Okay, and you can imagine that's what we're going to do for these two implementations, for get bot guilds and get user guilds. Now we need to fetch the data from the Discord API. How do we do that? Well, we're going to need to use an HTTP library. Now, Nest.js does come with a Nest.js Axios package that you can install. However, I'm not going to use it because it has everything wrapped inside observables, and I'm not really a fan of observables. I like them, don't get me wrong, but I just think that they're way too complicated for the average beginner to just get started and just jumping into them. It's not that it's complicated, it's just it can be very confusing, and I don't want to overcomplicate this tutorial by introducing observables. So we're not going to stick with that for now. However, I do encourage you to look into them because they are pretty cool, but we're not going to deal with that. So what we're going to do instead is we're just going to install the Axios package ourselves. Okay, not the Nest.js Axios package, but the actual Axios package. Okay, and I'm going to add the types as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create another service called Discord HTTP.service.ts, and we're going to create an interface for that as well. Okay, so the interface is going to have a couple of methods. So let's go ahead and set that up real quick. So we're going to fetch the bot guilds, and we're going to fetch the user guilds. I think these are the only two methods that we'll need for now. We will need to create another method later for fetching the guild channels, but again, that's for later. Let's go ahead and create the Discord service class now. Okay, and then we will use the injectable decorator on top of this. Now let's go ahead and implement the methods like that. Okay, so the Discord service, so the reason why I created a new service and a new interface is because the Discord service is going to inject this Discord HTTP service. And this class is going to take care of fetching everything. I could have just fetched it manually inside get bot guilds and get user guilds, but I want to encapsulate everything as much as I can. So that way it's easier for testing. Okay, and in case we need to reuse this HTTP service, we can later. So let's go back into constants.ts. Whoops. Let's go ahead and label, whoops, that's a route, sorry. I wanted to go to services. Let's go over here and let's go ahead and do HTTP_Discord, service. And then we're going to go ahead and inject the, well, before we inject, we have to provide it. So right underneath this one, we'll do provide services Discord HTTP, use class, Discord HTTP service. And now we can inject that into the Discord service. Okay, which means that we can now call the Discord HTTP service methods. So let's do services Discord HTTP private read only Discord HTTP service. Type annotated with the interface. Okay, so now get bot guilds can easily call discord.http service.fetch bot guilds. Okay, and get user guilds will also do the same thing. Get user guilds, whoops. So we'll call fetch user guilds, just like that. And then get mutual guilds will call both of these methods. And it will give us, it will do the computation. Okay. So now if we go over, so let's do this. Let's go ahead. For now, we'll call get bot guilds. Okay. And if we go to the implementation of, or no, I'm sorry, not, yeah. If we go to the implementation of fetch bot guilds, it's going to throw an error, and that's okay. But we'll return an empty object just to test this out. There we go. So inside this Discord HTTP service now, we're going to import, or we're going to import Axios inside this file. And all we're going to do is just call Axios. Okay. So we're going to do return axios.get, the URL, which is going to be https discord.com/API/v9. And then the actual endpoint. So the endpoint for the guilds is going to be, let's see, it should be for the bot guilds, it should be /users @me guilds. And then we do need to pass in headers. For the headers, we do need to pass in an authorization header, which is, remember, it's the bearer token, which we're going to need to retrieve. Okay. So, whoops, what's going on here? Okay, there we go. So first things first, let me go ahead and remove this. And for now, I'll just simply, I'm going to go ahead and just, you know what, for now, I'll just leave it as a constant. I'll just leave it over here for now. I'll put it in an enum later, okay? Or like a constant variable later. But what I want to do is I want to get the access token, which we saved in a couple of episodes ago to the database. So I'm going to show you how we can actually get the access token right over here. Okay. So the access token, first we need to pass it down from get mutual guilds. So how do we get it here? Well, remember the access token is saved to the user object. So we need to get the user object. Now, how do we get the user object? Well, if you remember, in one of our episodes, we created a custom decorator called auth user, and we actually use that in our auth controller right over here. And this auth user allows us to get the actual user. It pretty much extracts the user object from the request object, and it gives it back to us very easily. So we can do the same thing that we did. Like this. So this will literally give us the user object. Okay. And then we can easily access the access token, just like that. Okay, we're going to need to pass in that access token down to get mutual guilds, which means that we're going to need to go ahead and update this method to actually take in the actual, we need to take in the actual parameter. Okay, so we need to first update the interface. And then we need to update the actual implementation like that. Okay, so now we can pass it down to get mutual guilds. From get mutual guilds, we need to pass it to get bot guilds. Okay, so get bot guilds, we're gonna have to update the interface of Discord service to take it. So get bot guilds will take in, oh, I'm sorry, not get bot guilds. I mean get user guilds. So actually, let me actually fix this up real quick. So get bot guilds actually isn't supposed to take in an access token. This should actually be, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Let me actually do this. Let me remove this and let me bring this down here for fetch user guilds. Because for the bot guilds, we use the bot token and we're not saving that in the database. We could probably save that in an environment variable. So we don't need to pass anything down. We could just get it from the environment variable. For fetch user guilds, we need the actual user's access token. So let me just fix that real quick. So yes, fetch user guilds, we need to take in the access token. Okay. So let me, instead of calling get bot guilds, let me call get user whoops, get user guilds. So get user guilds will take in the access token. So let's go over to the Discord service and let's update the parameters for get user guilds. So now we can actually pass an access token like this. And now fetch user guilds needs to take in the access token. Okay, pass that in there. And last but not least, we go to the implementation of fetch user guilds. And there we go. So this should actually work. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, yeah, okay, I know it's the problem. So the API call is in fact successful, but the problem is the way that we're handling the API call. Because we're trying to return like an Axios response, which is why it's giving us this issue. We need to actually await the response and then return it. I'll do that inside get mutual guilds. So here's what I'll do. Const. Actually, let me do this. There we go. This should fix that problem. And you can see that this will give me back all of my user guilds. My account, not the bot, but my account. Okay? And the reason why we're not getting any IntelliSense is because we didn't type annotate the return values of our methods. So we'll have to probably worry about that later, but it is a little, we do need to actually create some custom types though. So we'll do that later though. Okay, so this is going to give us the user guilds. So let's go ahead and implement get bot guilds. So for that, we will need the bot token. So I'll go ahead and just add that right over here. So Discord bot token. And let me go grab my bot token real quick. Let's see. For the bot token, so this, remember, this is for fetching the guilds for the Discord bot. Okay, so when you swap it out between the bot token and the access token, you can actually fetch different stuff on behalf of the user or the bot. So if you want to fetch stuff on behalf of the user, you would use the access token. If you want to fetch stuff on behalf of the Discord bot, like the guilds or the Discord bot's information, you would use the bot token. Okay, so because this is an environment variable, we don't need to pass in any parameters, which makes it a lot cooler. A lot more easier. So all we got to do, I'll do this, const token equals process.env discord underscore bot token. And we'll go ahead and return axios.gets the same URL. Okay. But this time, headers authorization will be bots token like this. So now we can go ahead and call this method. Okay, and we can go ahead and return user guilds, bot guilds like this. And this will return an object with user guilds and bot guilds. So let's go ahead and test that out. Let's refresh. You can see now we have user guilds and now we have bot guilds. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You can see that for user guilds, I'm in 4 guilds, but only 3 of them I'm an owner of, or I have the, the administration permission. And only 3 of them actually has the actual bots. Okay, so this is how we can get both of the guilds. So what we need to do next is we need to actually first check the permissions. So what that means is we have to go through the user guilds, check every single permission, and get the ones where we have the correct permission. And then what we need to do next is we need to compare the filtered out guilds with the bot guilds and see which ones are the same. So in a nutshell, this is what we're going to do in the next episode, but I want to explain it just a little bit so you all can understand. So now you see that we have both the user guilds and the bot guilds. So now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to actually calculate, not really calculate, but get the actual mutual guilds. Okay, so I'm going to show you all how to do that in the next episode because I don't want to make this episode too long. I just want to show you how to actually make the HTTP requests in the code. So in the next episode, we're going to actually get all of the correct guilds so that we can actually send that back to the front end server. I'm not front end server, front end application, and then we can display it for the user. Okay, so hopefully this all made sense. I will see you all in the next episode. Peace out.